Alrighty, so this is video number 2 introducing the Singer 2517. I showed you how to thread the machine in video 1, and I ran out of minutes when I was trying to thread it. So I'm going to explain about finishing up with the presser foot, with the bobbin. So I have threaded the needle and I pushed my thread through the presser foot, holding that top thread in my left hand. I'm going to use the hand wheel, not the foot pedal. I've already placed the bobbin in there and fed the thread through that little bobbin. And then you're just going to go up and go down one time, just once, and hold this taut, not tight, but taut. And it's going to pull it up, and you just use your scissors holding this still, and now both threads are on the top. I gently pull to make sure they're both smooth, and then you close the presser foot. Probably the best thing I can tell you about using a sewing machine is fixing to be right now, which is you always hold these two threads till you make a couple of stitches. If you don't, you got a mess. It'll knot up on you. Okay, so I've got just a little oblong piece, 2 pieces of fabric. I put them right sides together. This was cut on the selvage edge. This is scissor cut, scissor cut, scissor cut. This is selvage edge. If this was a real pillow, maybe a basic simple pillow I was making, I would begin with the selvage edges, because then you don't have to worry about the frays when you're hand stitching it closed. And you don't begin at a corner, but you begin in the middle. I'm going to sew it flush with the presser foot here, but that's not 5/8 of an inch. 5/8 seam is marked on the plate further over. Okay, so again, I'm going to start in the middle, and just for this example, I'm going to go flush with the presser foot. Okay, I'm going to hold those threads for my first couple of stitches. I'm using the presser foot. Alright, so I just hold it for a couple of stitches, and then I use the reverse. Alright, now at that point it's tacked, so I don't have to hold these any longer. Alright, so I'm going to just sew till I think I'm about the same distance at the corner. To do a corner for like a pillow or anything, you leave the needle in, you raise the presser foot, and you turn it. Alright, so, and this wasn't cut exact, so I got a little uneven edges. So I'm making my pillow here. Alright, so I think I'm close to where I want to be, so I'll leave the needle down, raise the presser foot, and turn the fabric. Alright, sew up this side. You don't have to push or pull the fabric. If everything's right, the feed dog does that for you. You just guide it with your fingers. Alright. So, got a little too close there. Alright. Just guide it with your fingers. Last corner, needle down, presser foot up, turn the fabric. Alright, now I don't want to sew it all the way closed. I won't be able to stuff it, okay? So I'm going to come just a little ways, and I'm going to stop, and I'm going to hit reverse and back stitch. This is slipping on me a little bit because I got a tablecloth. But you want something, maybe a non-skid piece of something underneath your sewing machine so it don't slide on you, since it's a tabletop. Alright, so anyway, hit reverse. Raise the presser foot. This is another important, probably second most important. If it doesn't pull easily for you, just move the needle back and forth a little, and then it'll move for you, okay? Don't worry about saving thread. Always leave you a nice long piece so you don't have to re-thread your machine there. And then cutting your threads really, really close so you don't have any antlers. I had a really good friend that taught me that little jewel years ago. Antlers belong on deer, not on sewing projects. Alright, so I cut those really, really close. And just side note, when you're making corners, you always want to cut that not too close, but fairly close to where the corner is. Cut that excess fabric off so that when you do turn it right side out, those corners will come nice and clean. If I was making a pillow, alright, I don't know, this may be too small to turn around. A blunt edge of scissors helps turn it. Don't get a real sharp pair to do this because it'll pierce your fabric. Alright. I may have cut this too small. Too small to show you. Alright. Alright, again, use the blunt end of a pair of scissors to get those corners nice and clean. And if this was a real project I would be making, you stuff it and then you hand sew with an invisible stitch to sew it closed. Alright, so that's a brief introduction of the 2517 with just a few basic tips about sewing.